Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University, this is a Channel 18 Rockbridge News Update.
Welcome to today's live news update. I'm Catherine Young. A wave of teacher activism is sweeping the United States. Hundreds of schools are closed today in Oklahoma and Kentucky as thousands of teachers participate in walkouts at their state capitals to demand increased funding and better pay. CNN's Nick Valencia reports on the growing trend.
Thousands of teachers walking out of their classrooms and storming state capitals, demanding higher wages and more education funding for their students.
I would much rather be with my students, but the truth is that I need to be here fighting for them.
In Oklahoma, teachers' salaries are among the lowest in the country, with many teachers working 2 or 3 jobs to pay the bills. But low wages are only part of the problem. The teachers' union says school funding has been cut by nearly 30% over the last decade, meaning that underpaid teachers often bear the burden of buying supplies.
We don't have adequate furniture, textbooks, curriculum. Those things are all stretched as thin as they can be and held together with as much duct tape as we can pay for out of our paychecks.
Last week, Oklahoma's governor signed a bill raising salaries and increasing funding, but many say it's not enough.
It's very difficult to trust your state elected officials if they continue to turn their backs on education, and they cannot do this any longer.
These students holding a mock class at the protest to send a message to legislators about conditions in their schools.
We need more than our teachers having raises. We need teacher retention, and we need up-to-date classrooms, and we need to feel like a priority in our state, and we don't.
These walkouts, part of a growing movement among teachers in largely Republican states.
Fund our schools! Fund our schools!
In Kentucky, teachers denouncing changes to their pension benefits after state lawmakers tucked reforms into a sewage bill. And in Arizona, educators threatening to strike, calling for a 20% raise and increased school funding. These protesters galvanized by the success of a 9-day strike in West Virginia.
I think it gave people the belief that they can do the things that they need to do for public education. It's stronger than the hope.
Stocks rose today after a rough Monday when the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell more than 450 points. The turmoil on Wall Street reflects trade war fears after China imposed tariffs on over 100 U.S. exports. Amazon stock took a major hit yesterday as well, falling 5% after Trump attacked the company on Twitter. Other big news on Wall Street today: popular music app Spotify made its public trading debut with a market value of $29 billion. In Washington, special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation has handed down its first prison sentence. A Dutch attorney who lied to federal agents in their investigation of former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort was given 30 days in prison today and was also ordered to pay a $20,000 fine. Alex van der Zwan's sentence could be an indicator of what other defendants charged with lying may receive as the investigation moves forward. With a court filing late Monday, the Department of Justice also officially gave Mueller's team permission to investigate allegations that Manafort colluded with the Russian government. Senator Tim Kaine is back on the campaign trail this week for the first time since the 2016 presidential election, when he was Hillary Clinton's running mate. Kaine has served as the junior senator for Virginia since 2013 and will be making 22 stops across the state, speaking on economic opportunity and inclusivity. He had won 9 straight elections before the 2016 loss and had previously served as the governor of Virginia and mayor of Richmond. People across America are remembering the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. on the 50th anniversary of his death this week. The civil rights activist was assassinated in the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4, 1968. In the spirit of King's nonviolent protest, 6 Mississippi teens marched 50 miles to Memphis to raise awareness for current civil rights issues, participate in a youth rally, and attend anniversary activities at the National Civil Rights Museum. Boston, Washington, and other cities plan to honor King with similar events this week. March Madness came to a thrilling conclusion last night as Villanova defeated Michigan 79-62 to win the NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship. Villanova fans took to the streets to celebrate the team's second national title in the last 3 seasons. That wasn't the only basketball championship that took place this week. Yesterday, the national champion Notre Dame women were welcomed back to campus to celebrate their title win. The Fighting Irish won at the buzzer on Sunday night, defeating Mississippi State 61-58 on a three-pointer by Arike Ogunbowale as time expired. That's all for today's update. Tune in to Channel 18 Thursday at 4:30 for our full show, and search Rockbridge Report to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest local news.